just kind of popping in to narrate what happened and where we went. So last Friday, the 3rd, I believe it was, I had off of work because I worked on Memorial Day, so I got to use my Memorial Day holiday on that Friday. So I took the day off. Me and my boyfriend went to many places. We started off the day going to a French breakfast place really close to my apartment. It was our first time going. It's called Le Pain Quotidien. And we got there and there was no line. We got there like fairly early for us. I think we got there before 8 a.m. I want to say, for breakfast. And they weren't busy. We got to sit wherever we wanted to sit. The food was really good. I got like a turkey, I think it was like a turkey toast kind of thing. It did have avocado on it, but it wasn't like avocado toast. It was just a toast breakfast that happened to have avocado on it. So it was turkey and bacon and some other things and avocado. It was really good. But it was really nice. It was a beautiful place. I think we'll probably make it our breakfast spot because it is so close to my apartment. And because it was good, it was quick. And it was like one of those meals where like you don't feel full, like you're stuffed, but you feel satisfied and you don't feel heavy afterwards. Like I told him that like multiple times. I was like, wow, this food was so good. I feel like I had a hearty breakfast, but I don't feel stuffed or bloated or like greasy or anything afterwards. So that was really nice. So we had a reservation for the Washington, D.C. temple. It's actually technically in Maryland. The actual name is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is basically the Mormon church. It sits on this hill. You can actually see it from the highway, from like 495 or whatever. You can see it. It's always lit up at night. It kind of looks like Disney World, like on a hill. The way that the castle, basically is what it is, a castle, looks. And you drive by, if you're like in the DMV area, you've definitely driven by before and been like, I wonder what that is. And eventually I found out that it was a church of some sort, but like no one that I knew had ever been to it or like known much more about that besides like, oh, it's a church. And clearly because it's a church for Latter-day Saints, which is Mormon, and I don't personally know any Mormons, so that makes sense is why I don't know anyone who's ever like seen it in person or been inside of it before. But then we just stumbled across online that they were open. I think it was only for like 7 days, a really small window of time in the beginning of June. They were open for the public. So it was built 50 years ago. So it was their first time being open to the public in 50 years since it had been built. So it was open for people to go inside and just do like a walkthrough, like a self-guided tour basically. Obviously it's blocked off, so you only tour certain places that they want you to tour. And we went in. The grounds are beautiful. I do have some videos of like the outside. You weren't allowed to take any photos or videos inside, which is just kind of whack for you guys, but we enjoyed ourselves. They have you put on like little like shoe booties before you go in. So you put the little booties over your shoes. And then you walk inside. It's like all carpeted and stuff like that. It was really beautiful. One of the first rooms we went into was like the baptism room. And on the bottom of like the basin where they keep the water, it's like the 12 oxen, which I think represents the 12 disciples, and something else it represents as well. But it was like very, very well done. The other rooms were like pretty basic-ish. There is like a crying room or like a prayer room where you like sit and just sit in silence and like no one's supposed to talk, and then you kind of just sit with your loved ones and like reflect and pray if you need to or be somber or whatever. And that room was carpeted, which is like a lot of seating and like these really beautiful chandeliers. And then we saw some of like the rooms for like weddings and the ceiling rooms. I think we got there at like 10:30 and we were there for, I want to say definitely less than an hour, maybe 30 minutes, but definitely less than an hour for sure.
Well, let's get everybody into this. All right, so what are we gonna do here?
Okay, so check it out. I want you all to dance the bless mode. We have a little dance contest. Who can dance up in here? Who can dance? Don't be
We go
scared.
down on the floor. Should we go down?
No, he said he can dance. Come on up. Come on.
All right, here. I'm gonna go.
If you can, all my dancers, put your hands up. You ain't end up on.
These folks need more angst. And what better to give it to them than the air fryer bidet?
We're going to now, I'm gonna fry your ass, then clean it out very thoroughly. Well, maybe not in that order. Gibble Shanks was shocked.
My ass is clean already.
It's a good bidet. Charlie Horse knew that Gibble Shank's ass was clean, but Charlie Horse knew that she needed some cleaning up herself. That's when Blimpy decided to go to work with the air fryer bidet.
Turn it up to full power, Mr. Seinfeld.
Whatever you say, here we go.
Then we went to Awesome Con. That was super cool. It was our first time going to something like that. We only went for one day. We only paid for a one-day pass, which was on Friday. They had multi-day passes. I believe it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we only went on Friday. That was cool. We got there, we checked in, and then we were in line for like a really long time. It's like I don't want to say, it's not strictly anime. There's a name for it. I'll put it on the screen. But basically it's like anime, it's art, it's gaming, it's media. It's still niche, but it's not as niche as just being anime. We also actually went to, it's in the convention center in DC, the Walter something convention center. It's the same place where they have the National Car Expo every year. Me and my boyfriend went to that back in 2018 or 2019, which was really fun. So it's in that same venue, which is fairly large. It's 3 or 4 floors, counting like the basement floor. A very big venue. So we went there. They had panels. Kel Mitchell was there, which you guys saw. I know on Saturday, he and Melissa Joan Hart were doing a panel together, basically going to be answering questions about like growing up as like a Nickelodeon kid and so on and so forth. So I thought that was really cool. They had some girls from Charmed there, some girls from Buffy there. Not Sarah Michelle Gellar and not Michelle Trachtenberg, but one of the other girls from Buffy was there. They had like a cosplay competition, so you come in and like you get judged. They did have like a weapons check for cosplay costumes when you enter the building. They had a gaming room where you just go in and like play video games, and they also had a board game room. They had like little like small discussion rooms. There was a discussion that we sat in for a little while. It was about My Hero Academia, where they like talked about like what makes a good villain, and then they like dissected like the villains in My Hero Academia compared to All Might. They had like a film festival room where they showed like, they had the screenings of like short films. So each couple of hours it would be like different themes. So we went in during like the horror or like suspense short film. We watched probably about 3 of them. They were probably like less than 15 minutes each for each short film we watched. That was really cool. So many different panels. On the bottom floor, they had like their artist expo, which was just like local artists showing off their art. They had people down there doing like tattoos on the spot. Obviously like a very specific niche like tattoo style. I wouldn't have gotten anything because it wouldn't have been like the style that I would like to add to my tattoo collection. But I thought that was really, really cool. So much cool art. Like there was like wood burned art. There was like metal art. They had Funkos everywhere. We stopped at every Funko Pop station. They had so much stuff. They did have food there, which we got a little something to hold us over, but we ended up getting food elsewhere afterwards. Like I was just so happy that there was a place where people that feel quote unquote weird could go. I'm not a huge like anything head in this niche that we were in, but like I saw kids there with their parents. I saw like preteens and teenagers there. I saw people that are probably like in their 20s that you could tell like they didn't have anyone to go with, but they were happy to go by themselves because like they knew they would have a community there. I think it's just so important, especially for kids and teenagers and pre-teenagers. Those same kids that probably are like the weird kid at school just because they have different interests or they like dress differently or whatever. They can go here and they feel like, okay, like these are my people, or like other people here have the same interests as me. Like this thing that I'm so obsessed with isn't so weird here because everyone else here is also obsessed with it. That like really warmed my heart, just seeing the younger people there. That like maybe they weren't dressed the best, or maybe they weren't the best well-groomed or whatever, but they were so happy to be there, and none of that stuff mattered inside of that building. And that was like, I know I'm making this like way deeper than it probably needs to be, but like that meant a lot to me to see that. I don't know, that just really stuck with me. Seeing Kel was cool. He did talk a little bit about upcoming projects. He has a like Christian rap career of some sort now, which is very interesting. But his energy was cool. It was great. We also set in, I totally forgot about this, we set in for like a voice acting panel. So it was the guy that does the voice acting for Goku. It was probably like 3 or 4 people that do voice acting on the Fallout video games, but they also do other voices as well. Those are just like their most notable voice titles. So they did like some like silly script readings and stuff like that, and some of their different characters' voices. That was really cool just to kind of see that in action. It was nice. I definitely am more so looking forward to the anime convention. So they have an anime convention every year in DC called Otakon. We are going to go this year. That's what we did. So we did some stuff in Virginia. We did some stuff in Maryland. We did some stuff in DC. Later that night, we went to Founding Farmers, the DC location, for a late dinner, a very late dinner. I just wanted to kind of show other stuff that's happening in the area. I mean, we were going to these events regardless. I just figured if I'm going to go to them, I might as well film them a little bit anyway, what little I could. I didn't film a lot, honestly. I could have filmed way more at AwesomeCon. So many people had their cameras out and phones out and stuff like that. So I definitely could have, but it was our first time going. I was trying to like figure out the pacing and stuff like that. At Otakon, I'll film a lot more. Anything else I do this summer, I'll probably film a lot more of to have like more content. So it's not just so much of me sitting here talking to you guys like freaking always. I know,